Hello everybody. My last video I did was a creative expression of my passionate nature, of my sensual and sexual passionate nature, and I feel as though I need to give an artist statement, all right? Now, I'm not promiscuous, and I was working on getting my 40-something-year-old boyfriend, my lover relationship, to become a lovership. And it was partly and mainly because he was pushing it. It's how he wanted to express himself to me. And he let me know that I turned him on, and he drew attention to his erection on more than one occasion, letting me know that he was very aroused by me and he wanted to take it to the next level. But little did I know that he was very uptight and hung up on his own sexuality and his own nude body, and needed to put a condom on without talking to me about it first. So I made some mistakes. Number one, when you are in a new relationship and your partner wants you to be sexual before you're ready, kindly, ladies, if that's you, tell them you're not ready. And then find out more about them. So, for instance, why couldn't we just sleep in each other's arms and see how that felt and build some intimacy? Why did we have to have sex? Because he wanted it. And then he treated me like an object. And a condom for a woman who's 60 feels just as bad as it did when I was in my 20s. But this one was latex and textured and loaded with some sort of chemical lubricant. And I couldn't use an oil lubricant. And he wouldn't let me put anything on him, you know. He was embarrassed by his erection. He wanted to put it in right away, hide it, put it between my legs, out of sight. So let me just tell you all of this. When a partner wants to have sex before you're ready, you have every right to say no. But here's the deal. He talked about how he liked to make love at least once a day. Never once did he use the word condom. And when it came down to it, here we were, naked, and he brings up the condom word. So what do I do? What do I do? I subject myself to it. So in the last video, what I was doing was I was dancing out my passion. It's what I would have liked to have done with him. I would have loved to have made love. I would have loved to have moved my body sensuously. I would have loved to have opened up my heart in my auric field and had tantric sex with him. Would have loved it. But he's not capable. So now I realize I have some questions that I have to ask a man before we get to that point. But here's the deal. I just got out of a 10-year relationship that lasted 11 years. I had a boyfriend that was Peruvian born, that had the dick this big, not even, who didn't know that I wanted to be pleased too. And he had a picture of Jesus' Last Supper on his dining room. And he never went into his dining room. And on top of that, he had television sets going on in the morning with nobody in the room. So he had TV sets that would go on automatically. I mean, I don't want to be with a guy like that. I'll be running around turning them off. They don't want to be with a woman like me. An energy-sensitive woman who actually feels sex at a really high level, that is sensuous and orgasmic and a dancer and will love to kiss the back of your neck and feel your muscles on your back and rub you and look really beautiful in a gorgeous dress and sidle up to you and slink away and hope you're looking at my ass. Yeah, they don't want a woman like that. No, they couldn't handle a woman like that. So this last guy, turns out he's Persian. I thought since he had been married for 4 years, he would know how to have sex. But I was wrong. I was wrong. He did not know. And also, his woman must have been a gargantuanly sized vag, because he wanted to put 3 fingers at me. Is this TMI? I'm telling you. I can do one, insert it, and then go like this. And hit the G-spot. Lover. Men that love women. Learn about the G-spot. No, again, I'm not promiscuous. I was working on being with this man, and I thought we would be together for at least 5 years. Because I figured by then I'd be 65, might not want to have sex with him. And I thought, well, maybe 10 years, 10 tops, because by then he's going to want to be with a younger woman because he's 40 something. So we had like I think it was 18, 19, 20 year difference between us, which is significant. And I thought for sure he would love the idea of being able to have sex with a woman who couldn't get pregnant. Because he told me he didn't want to have kids ever. And I'm like, you don't want to have kids ever? Like, why not? Why wouldn't you want to have kids? I mean, kids are so rewarding. Having children is amazing. You say you don't want kids now, but what happens down the road? You're a man. If you're a woman at 40, you only have 2 more years to have kids. Healthy ones. Yeah. A lot of women give birth at 41 and 42. To like regular babies, not mongoloids. So it's possible. It's possible. So yes, I just needed you all to know that I'm not promiscuous. I'm not promoting promiscuity. I was expressing my desire and my need to have been sensuous, and the inability that man had to actually be a sensuous man past his egoic fucking. In other words, being sensuous, having sensuality, touching a person a certain way, feeling and receiving touch a certain way, that's sensuality. Sexuality is just like going to business. It's what whores do. Just getting down and dirty. That's not lovemaking. Lovemaking is mixing juices, saliva, vagina juice with the dripping of the penis as it gets excited and it hasn't climaxed yet. It lets off a little moisture. All of that is for the lube. It keeps things lubed. So for a man to insist on a condom after he swears he hasn't had sex for 2 years, he must be lying. Condom sex must be the only kind of sex that he has. And he must have seen me as an easy mark. I look at him as a poor little boy who does not know how to be sensuous or fuck. And you can't teach fucking, but I'm going to attempt to do that on this channel. So I am going to bring it into the verbiage, the art of conscious loving, Tantra. I'm going to talk about the art of sexual ecstasy in this book. And Beloved's in Bed by this author. that's what we're going to talk about. I could talk about others, but let's start with those three. That's the beautiful trifecta. What else? Oh yes, vagina sizes. And then how important it is to screen your sexual partners, because you will take on their joob. You will take on whatever is in their field, and that's probably why I got sick. I got soul sick after being with this man. I'm talking soul sick. Now, I'm not blaming his ex-wife's neuroses and her trying to kill herself on him. But let's just say that if that's how he gave sex to her, then it makes sense that she would try to kill herself. So there's a reason why I stayed with my narcissist for so long. We were really good in the sack together. Sex is bonding. It's also bondage. So the downside had to become so awful with the last partner that I had for 10 years, other than the Peruvian guy with the dick smaller than my thumb, who I wanted to be with, but we had too many things in between us. And good sex wasn't one of them. Catholicism, women don't need orgasms, belief systems like that. Belief systems like this last person. Sex is something to be ashamed of, and he had to hide, turn his back, and I wanted to see the shape of his cock. I wanted to see its looks. I wanted to see the whole thing. But no. So where am I with this now? I'm going to educate you guys. Like, sex is not to be taken lightly. It's very important to keep your body pure and to meld it and share it only with those that pass through the test. And at my ripe age, I still failed to do that. And I became ill. My vagina off-gas latex for 3 days. And I felt physically ill for letting that person into my field, into my body, albeit not for very long, because I couldn't handle it. And he couldn't actually come inside of me. I'm like, we need to stop this motion. So I called it off. I'm like, I'm being abraded. My insides are being abraded. What kind of condom is this? Is this a torture device? May as well have been. So it was textured with little spikes. And I'm like, what the F? Don't ever use this on a woman that you want to keep in your life. So he's like, I can't have sex without a condom. I'm like, I can't have sex with a condom. That's what we're going to part ways with? That's how we're parting ways? So I sent him a video about the importance of the clear auric field, what you bring to the table with your sexuality, and that when you're having sex with a woman and she with you, it's not just a physical act, it's a full body act, it's a soul act, and it's a spiritual act. So I'm getting my act together. And yes, we will talk about these books, but for now, I'm introducing them. Go ahead and get this one. And I highly advise this one, except for it goes into anal sex. I am not into anal sex. I've got girlfriends that do anal sex, and they think I'm crazy for not liking it. And I'm like, I think you guys are fucking crazy for liking it. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. But you're going to learn how to do things as females, the pelvic rock, which I was showing when I was a stripper. I learned how to do the pelvic rock and do a lot of gyration. It opened up my fluidity. It kept things very, very fluid. It didn't make me horny. It redirected the sexuality. I became a very sensuous dancer. And I didn't get horny, needed to have sex, because I was in the zone while I was dancing. And I was transmitting and receiving this wonderful energy. So which is what I was doing in my video. And the last one I did, just click on my name and then go to the video before this. They're all arranged chronologically. And in that video, that's the one in which I'm dancing, expressing my sensuality and my sexuality and how it was thwarted by this lover who's now the ex, the latest ex. And now I know that going forward, I will be discerning like big time. So that's the lesson I wanted to give to everybody, is to super, super discern who you have sex with. All right. Don't even have sex with them until you've had some intimacy, like just sleeping over their house or they're in your bed or whomever's bed, or going on vacation. Just spending time in intimacy in each other's arms, not sexually, and see if you can get them to play strip poker. Like, see if they're actually comfortable nude. If they're not comfortable nude and they're ashamed of their body, you don't want to have sex with them because it will affect you in a sick way. You will become sick. I became a little bit sick being with that man. Yeah, now I'm over it. I'm going to meet some friends for a drink. I'm having a beer right now. And then Saturday night, I have a date with my new favorite boomer, everybody. And we'll see how it goes.